Hi guys, so welcome to my lunchtime live. I hope you're all well. Guys, if you're coming into the live, it'd be lovely to say, come and say hello, come and join me. It's Friday, so that means it's 1 o'clock. It's Friday and it's 1 o'clock, and we are live. So, guys, if you're coming in, feel free to come and say hello. It's always lovely when you drop a little message in just to tell me that you're here. It's always very, very, very nice to kind of see who's around. And I hope everyone's having a fantastic Bank Holiday Friday. So, I've actually made some real good use of time this morning. I've been planning for next week. Obviously, quite a few projects I've got on the go at the moment. So it's actually really, really nice that I've been able to use that little bit of time this morning to kind of get ahead of things. Really. Hi Sam, welcome to my lunchtime live. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to pop a little question in. Let's get started, shall we? There we are. So I'm just going to ask people as you're coming in there, what industry you're in, what business sector you work in. And I'll tell you why, because it's a good opportunity for me to be able to tailor some of the content that I'm giving you today on the live. So it helps me to understand you better, but also at the same time, it helps you to get a little bit more relevant content as well. So I've got my coffee ready, just literally 5 to put the kettle on, ready to go. So today, guys, I'm talking about how regular blogs can help your social media strategy, and I think it's really, really important that when you are marketing your business, that you are using blog content on your website. And there's a few important factors. Of course, it's great to have lots of good content on your site because it helps Google, it helps with your SEO. For those that don't know, SEO is search engine optimization. What it effectively means is ranking higher for certain keywords and key phrases when people are searching through Google. Hi Chris, welcome to the Crackerjack Friday 1 o'clock lunchtime live. Great to have you on board, Chris, as well. So guys, if you are just joining me or you are watching on replay, today I'm talking about blog content. I'm talking about how regular blog content can help your social media strategy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to break it down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to break it down into a few different sections for you. I'm going to start to look at one of the keywords in the title of today's lunchtime live, and that word is regular. Now, I talk a lot about consistency. I talk a lot about social media consistency and actually being on a regular basis posting content throughout your social media strategy. Now, if you have regular blog content going across your website, then that gives you an extra piece of content to put out across your social. So being consistent is really, really important. People, like for example, every Friday 1 o'clock here on lunchtime live on Facebook, I am live, and what I do with my events is give you that little bit of knowledge, that bit of nuggets of information I keep talking about. But what I would say is that having regular content on your website will help you in different ways. So it's all about knowledge, it's all about understanding of your business, it's all about making sure that you can have interesting content that's going across your social media. And I've got to put a featured link in here which will just basically show you exactly all of my blogs on my website, so you can have a look at the content that I'm writing. I'm writing about different subjects, not just social media, because I'm not just a social media guy. There are other things that I do for my business, whether that's websites, whether that's logo, graphic design, whether it's email marketing, social, Facebook ads. There's lots of different things that I can offer. And what I like to do with my blog content is mix things up a little bit. There is a bit more of a focus on the social media side because, as we know, it's kind of the lead in how I can talk to you and for you guys to become clients of mine. It's always a good way to me to show you my expertise on social media. Martin, thanks for joining me today on my lunchtime live. You messaged a minute ago. Faisal, thank you very much for joining me. Guys, thank you very much. It's great that you're taking the time out today to come and say hello. And it's good that got some friendly faces there, of course, as well. So regular blog content, how it can help your social media. Just look at it this way. Let's just say, for example, you've got a piece of content, an article of content that you've written, and it goes onto your website. Okay, it sits on your website, and when Google comes and has a look at your website, it will crawl through that content, pick up some keywords, and help you hopefully be found in Google. Now that's fantastic. So it's good that you've got that Google presence, and having regular content for your website will help your Google presence increase over a period of time as well. What's interesting is that if you have that article of content that's written there on your website, then you can use that across your social media. But don't just use it the once, use it twice, 3 times, go back to it. So for example, if you're writing an article, and I'm looking at the guys in the room at the moment, and I can see that you guys are driving instructor related. So if you're writing an article talking about, for example, the 3 things to help relax you before taking your first driving lesson. Now, if you have an article content that sits on your website, you can share that across your social media and send traffic back into your blog. So it's really, really important that if you do that, you don't just do it the once, see how you get on. That's not how you really kind of have an effective marketing strategy or social media strategy. You need to be able to do it on a regular basis. Now, I keep saying the word regular, and I think that's really important that you guys understand that it's important to have consistent content going across your social media and through your website. Every single week there's a blog article on my website, and if you go to my website and click on the blog, you can see that I've got other articles that have been going live, and my latest article is about how to give your business the edge on social media by using national days of the year. Now what I'm going to do, guys, I'm actually going to put that article into the chat here for you. So if you give me 2 seconds, I'm going to pop it into the chat, and the reason being is so you guys can see whether you look at it now or whether you look at it afterwards. You're welcome to have a look. That is the latest blog that I've put on there, and that is going out on my social media in the next 24 hours. So what I will do with that article is post it out through all my channels, so everybody on all the networks and all the different channels that people were there following me can see the article, and they can read the article. They can click on the link, they can come through to my website. Now, how that benefits my social media is that it shows that I have more expertise and knowledge, and that's really, really important. So what I would say is that if you are looking to try and get a bit of engagement, then you could encourage people to comment about your blog. You could encourage them to answer a question maybe that you're asking. So you can actually release that. So instead of just putting blog title and then the link and then just sending it off, create a nice image, create something that looks really good. Go to canva.com and use canva.com to create something really, really effective. Now there's a few guys out there that I know that do use Canva. I've been using it for a while now, and it's absolutely fantastic. The paid version is about, I think it's about £11 a month. So it's absolutely nothing. It'll literally 2 Costa coffees, and that's paid for. So just going back to the posting, so if you're posting out that, then you can post it out with a question, try to get people engaged with it, try and get people to answer questions. And I think it's a great way to put people from your social media into your website. Keep them going in that direction. Okay, keep moving them onto your website, because your website should be there to help sell your product or service. Now when you land on my website, you've got an opportunity to also subscribe for my email newsletters that go out every single week as well. It's a perfect opportunity again to get people's data, to get people to engage with you. Full transparency, I want you to subscribe. I'd love you to subscribe to me so I can keep sending you that content. And my blogs also get sent out through into my social media and through my email marketing as well. So again, it's a really, really good that you get the blogs added to the site, post them out on your social media, and then post it again in 3 or 4 days time. But maybe try something different with the article title. Maybe try using the first paragraph of your blog. Now I think that's really, really important, is that you mix it up, you try different things, you see what works. Always be testing, test all the time. And if you've got a really good, interesting article, so I'm going to go back to my example about the 3 ways to the 3 ways to relax before your first driving lesson. If you posted that onto your website, posted it through your social media, and then sent it out as a Facebook ad or a Facebook boost, and you sent it out to everybody that's aged between 17 and 21 in your local area, it will do 2 things. Firstly, it will help drive traffic into your website, so you can generate a lead, you can generate a sale. And secondly, it's going to increase your brand awareness. More people are going to see your business name going across the timeline as well of their Facebook. So really, really good to use those blogs through your social media. I could just see there's a couple of questions pop up on here, so I'm just going to have a quick look at those as well. Okay, so yeah, good question, Faisal. Do you have to make a blog page on a menu, or just adding an FAQ page? An FAQ page is, again, really important because you can have questions that you've asked, but don't forget that an FAQ page is exactly what it is. Faisal, you have to think about what that is. That's actually you writing down some questions and answering those for you. What I'd recommend you do is actually have a separate blog section added to your site. If you have a WordPress site, it's very, very straightforward to do. Faisal, on Monday I'll have a look at that for you, and I can help you with that going forward. If you have a WordPress website, it's really, really straightforward. All you need to do is literally create a post and then create the blog section in the menu area, and you can actually get that created very, very quickly. I would actually recommend that when you do have a blog section, that you make sure it's kept up to date on your website. There is nothing worse than seeing a tab that says latest news and the last article was 2 years ago. You know, if you're going to do this, you need to commit to doing this. Now, I do offer a blog writing service as well, so if anybody is interested, you're welcome to drop me a message. We can talk about the right kind of articles that you want to go out across your website. We can look at the keywords as well. So I'm just going to have a quick look. Sam, you've dropped one on me. You've dropped a comment in here. Yeah, I get that, Sam. I think it's important. Stuck to rock and a hard place for time management. I mean, I know that feeling as well. I often will struggle myself as I'm helping my clients. I'm doing a lot of work. I'm actually working in my business. And I can get where you're coming from there. Yeah, if you suddenly get straight back down into your into the passenger seat, and when you're teaching again, it's having that time management, which is difficult. I spend a lot of time working, you know, with my clients and in my own business. So I'm not spending time on my business. Today, Friday at 1 o'clock every Friday, this is me working on my business. This is actually me helping the marketing of my business by going live on Facebook. This is in the diary at 1 o'clock every Friday. It stays in there. It's in my diary. It's in the joint diary between myself and my wife. So it's actually in here. It's an important part of my week. Between 1 and 2, every single Friday is blocked out. Nobody can book appointments in. And I also block out the hour before that as well. And the reason I do that is because it gives me an opportunity to prepare for today. And you know, when it comes to going live, instead of just doing an impromptu live, doing a live like this is really important, because I've actually got a blog article that's going to be going live in about 2 weeks' time that's going to be talking about this very, very subject. So it's really, really important to block that time out. Now, I mentioned it last night. I did a presentation last night, and I think there's a couple of people in the room that were there actually last night, and it was actually really, really good, because I talked about the importance, how important is the marketing of your business. Okay, and a lot of people will say yes, it's very important, but you won't actually action that. You won't actually put that time in. And one thing I'd always recommend, if you are a driving instructor, for example, then one thing I'd recommend is that you have a particular time in the week where you can block that time out. Chris has just commented on there about writing down in your time and schedule. Exactly, Chris. I would always recommend to anybody, what doesn't matter what industry you're in, block some time out for the marketing of your business. On a Monday morning, for example, I used to have that time available, and the problem I had was if a client booked some time in, it would disrupt my Monday morning. And the first Monday of every month, I always block the first 4 or 5 hours out, because I have a lot of admin to do. So that's why I kind of use that time. But I also use that time to write blogs as well. So I might write a blog article, and I've got a few in the pipeline that are lined up. I use some software called AnyDo, and that software is a project management software. And when I get a blog article, I can add it through my phone on the app, or I can literally just add it straight in on my laptop, and it gives me kind of like a little project reminders of blogs coming up. So regular blogs are important. They help your social media. Consistency is key. But what I would recommend you do is not just have one blog article written, have two, have three, have four, and really start to kind of build the blogs up over the next 4 to 6 weeks. It should be a rolling period, very much like my lunchtime live events. I've got my next 3 live events already booked into my diary. I know what I'm going to be talking about. And whilst I do that, whilst before I mention my next events, if anyone's coming into the room a little bit later, then fantastic. Thank you very much for joining me. If you're watching this on replay, you're still welcome to comment and message, and I will get back to you. Next Friday, I'm talking about 5 ways to make your social media stand out, and that's a really good one because I'm going to be giving you 5 tips to really kind of make your social media kind of stand out above your competition. And then on the 16th, I've got a special lunchtime live edition. I'm going to be inviting some guests to come into the live event. And what I'm going to do is actually invite you guys as you come into the room, if you want to join me, and we can just literally chat about social media. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk to a couple of clients as well. I'm going to be doing it, it's not like a speed dating, but I'm going to try and get, you know, quite a few people involved, use that hour to get people kind of coming on a live, coming to join me, and we can have a little chat. And then the other event that I've booked into the diary for the 23rd of this month, so that's in what, 3 weeks time, is actually how to deal with negative comments on social media, and that's going to be a really interesting topic. I posted it out earlier on onto my Facebook, promoting it, of course, because it's important that you promote all of the content you use. And with that, I've already got a couple of comments as well, so that's really good. Let's just have a quick look at the comments. Let's see, Chris has just put in there something that absolutely makes my day. So Chris just started an ad campaign from the live last week, £3 a day budget, had 1 response from it, landed over £600 in 1 transaction. So what an amazing return of investment. Okay, what an amazing return of investment. And all of your marketing you should look at as an investment, okay, not as a cost. Look at it as an investment into your marketing of your business going forward. I've got another blog article that I'm going to write about investment versus cost. I spoke to a client the other day. He said, how much do you charge? So I told him, and he actually said to me, how much does it cost? And I said to him, I said, well, what you're actually buying into is the years of experience that I've had and the time that it takes me to do X, Y, Z. And what I explained to him was that this is an investment going forward. I work with several clients basically on a coaching basis, helping them on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and giving them ideas and trying to kind of spur them on. And it's really working well so far. So Kate says, really need some help. My travel business, running 2 businesses is a nightmare. Kate, I totally agree with you. I do have another business as well, and trying to get the time to kind of work with that is very difficult. I've also got another business in here that is ready to roll, but I need to focus on what I'm doing. Kate, if you wanted to book some time in my diary, you are more than welcome to do so. Kate, what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop my link in here. So if you wanted to book some time in my diary to come and have a chat with me and discuss it, then you are welcome to do so. 1 second, it's just going to put it in here. There you go. So, right, okay, fantastic. So let's just have a look at any other comments that are just coming through. While I do that, I'm going to grab a quick taste. Excellent, brilliant, Kate. Yeah, there's my link, Kate. So you're welcome to click on that, book some time in my diary for next week, and we can have a catch up and just talk about a few things. Look at that, my wife has joined my lunchtime live, so just dropped in a little hi in there, which is really nice. Thank you very much for joining me. So I'm talking today about how regular blogs can help your social media strategy. I'm talking about engagement. Now, if you're releasing a blog article on your social media that you've written, and it's an interesting topic, or it's something that could be a little bit topical, it could be a little bit controversial, what you'll find is it's actually a really good opportunity to raise engagements on your social. So for example, you could be just thinking about the ADIs that are in the room here. For example, you could be talking about the test dates, the theory dates, what your thoughts over this. You could put that in a blog article, and you could ask your audience, your followers, to engage with you and talk to you about how they feel about it. And that's a really good way of raising engagements as well. Ultimately, with blog content, it's important that you have the content there for Google, have it there for social media purposes, but you also need to think about it from a sales and revenue perspective. Mike Yates is a business coach who is a part of the network that I'm a part of, the Revelport Business Club, which is based in St Ives, Cambridgeshire, and also in St Neots, Cambridgeshire. And really interesting, Mike said a little while ago, he said that basically your business is all about sales and marketing. Whether you like it or not, it's all about sales and marketing. Now, when I look at my business, I think to myself, okay, I've got a client base. I'm always looking to grow my business going forward. If you're an ADI, your business is all about marketing. It's all about generating more sales. It's about generating pupil inquiries. And if that is the case, then what you need to be doing is making sure that you are having the mindset that you are looking to generate revenue. Whilst you don't want to be saying all the time about it's all about sales, book here and pay for your lessons here, or buy this product, buy this service all the time. It's about promoting what you do. It's about showing people who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. And blog content can really do that as well. Blog content is a great way for people to get to buy into you a little bit more. They can see your expertise, they can get to understand a little bit more about you, and also the services you offer. Once you give them an opportunity and drive them into your website, that's when people will start to engage with you, and hopefully that will turn into revenue at some point as well. And I think all businesses rely upon sales, sales and revenue. So you need to generate those revenue, and to do that you need to do a whole host of different things, and one of those would be your social media marketing and your social media strategy. It is a perfect way to grow your business. I have grown my business through the power of social media. Okay, and I am actually in the process of talking to somebody at the moment who said to me that you've grown your social media business, you've grown your digital marketing agency right from that first client, and the invoice is just over my shoulder. I can't get my fingers right there. You can see I've got the invoice actually in a frame up there, because it's a little reminder of exactly where I was when I started my business. Now that's something that I've done recently. Well, literally the moment I got that invoice, I got it in a frame, got it on the wall, because it's a little reminder of exactly where I was, and I look at where I am today every single week, and I want to focus on that. But I have to do an awful lot every single week. I have to make that time. If I don't make that time to be working on my business, then my business is not going to be successful. So I've got a question coming in, guys, here. So bear with me. So I'm going to be asking you guys as well as to what you want me to cover. What are you? Let's have a quick look here. So I've got a question in there asking you what you want me to cover in the lunchtime live events. I've got some spaces for the early part of May, so I can get those booked in with you. Let me know in the comments, guys, and comment on anything that you want me to cover. Is there anything that you're unsure about? Is there anything that you would like me to discuss in a bit more detail? I've got a poll as well that you would have seen that's just popped up. Hopefully you can see it just there. I like it when people do that because it kind of makes it look really cool, doesn't it? But if you little poll here, guys, so feel free. Are you blogging for your business? And if you notice there, it's talking about, are you blogging for your business? And that's really important. All the content that you look to write and the blog articles, they go onto your website. Absolutely fantastic. That is an investment. Okay, that is an investment into your website, and it's an investment into the marketing of your business. Now, when it comes to writing blogs, I've written a few blogs about this, talking about the writer's blog, talking about how difficult it can be sometimes, or knowing what subjects to write. That's where you can reach out to me. Just drop me a message and say, Simon, give me three blog titles. Drop me a message, subscribe to my emails, drop me a message today and say, look, I need some advice on some blog titles. Without this sounding a bit cocky, but I'm pretty confident I could come up with 3 blog articles quite quickly for you that could give you kind of a starting point. Whenever you're writing a blog, don't think about the number of words that it must be, okay, because that will be the issue. If, for example, you're writing a 400 word, 500 blog, then break it down into sections. Look at the blog itself, come up with the title, come up with a subheading, and then break it down into 3 to 4 different sections so you can refer to that. One bit of advice I would give you for blog writing is when you're writing article titles, it's important to make sure that you are not just putting a very small title. Make it as engaging as possible. Um, Try to say to people that you're going to give them something that's really, really valuable to them. And I'm just literally going to read out some of the blog titles that I use. But for example, it may be something along the lines of, 5 ways to make your social media stand out. That in itself is a great way. 6 top tips for creating your Facebook page, your first Facebook page. I've got a writer's blog article, 5 reasons to outsource your blog writing. So again, it's important to consider that if you are really, really struggling with blog content or ideas or what to write or whatever it may be, then basically, look to talk to somebody like myself that can help you have some regular content on your site. So Sam has just said on here that struggle about content, the wording, how long, look at that, how long it should be to avoid boredom. Okay, so my recommendation, Sam, 400 to 500 words. If you can do that, then that's fantastic. But like I said, break it down into different sections. Think about the subject that you're writing. Put yourself in the shoes of the person that's likely to be reading it. And that's really, really important for you to think about that. What are they going to get from this? What are they looking to read? What information can you give them that's going to make them really kind of engage with you and say, do you know what? That's really, really useful. That's why with my blog titles, I always look to try and keep it snappy. I also like to keep it interesting and relevant. I think the relevancy is so important. Sam, you just mentioned there about the word boredom, to avoid people, the boredom of reading your blog article. If you're bored writing it, then just think what somebody is going to be thinking when they're actually reading it. And that's really kind of like a negative way of looking at it. What I would say is that if you are writing content, one thing that I always do is, like I said, get the title of the blog, get the so what part of it, the subheading, break it down, and then sit and leave it. What I quite often do is I'll leave it to one side and I'll sit there and think, do you know what, I'm going to leave that for a minute, because over the course of the next hour or so, I'll start to think about it a little bit more, and then something will come to mind, and I think, fantastic, now I'm ready to write that article. And writer's block is something that a lot of people get, even professional journalists and novelists. Everybody gets it. Okay, and it all comes down to mindset. It all comes down to being in the right frame of mind when you're writing the blog article. And I think what's also really, really, really important is that you know your subject really, really well. If you're a professional in that industry, then you know your subject. You're going to be an authoritarian person. You're going to be able to show your expertise, give your top tips, talk about nuggets of information, use that to your advantage. Sit down, go and write a 400-word article and see how you get on. Break it down and see what happens. And I think, if you're not blogging at the moment, then, really do have a good look at it. Go and do some Google searching on, top tips for writing blogs or anything like that. Alternatively, guys, just head over to my blog section, have a scroll down and have a look. So 80% of people are saying they're not writing blogs for their website. So again, hopefully this lunchtime live will help you get a better understanding. Now, the title of this live today is about how regular blogs can help your social media strategy. I've already highlighted that you can share that content. People can engage with you. When people engage, they start to follow, they start to endorse you, and then all of a sudden you'll suddenly start to see a pickup of followers going forward, especially if you're using some paid ads on Facebook as well. If you're boosting some posts, it's absolutely fantastic that you can encourage people to follow you, because when they follow you, they're effectively subscribing to you, and they're subscribing to get more information from you. So what I'd recommend you do is give them that content, give them that information, by posting regular content. Now, what I often do is look back through some of my older blogs when, let's just say a few months ago, and I may post one of those blogs out there again. There's no reason why you can't use that blog again and again. unless it's got a date sensitive subject, obviously. But if you can use that content again, you have to bear in mind that some of your recent followers may not have actually engaged with that post and it could still be really interesting. So the best bit of advice I can give you is actually giving it a go, actually going ahead and just giving it a go, trying to do it. I think that's really, really important. I think, you know, if it's not working for you, then reach out to someone like me. You know, just say, look, I need some help, I need this, I need that. Can you give me some advice on this? And I can point you in the right direction as well. Jill's come into the room. Hi, Jill. Welcome to my lunchtime live. Thank you very much. So the perfect blog, Jill, that is interesting. What is the perfect blog? That's a really, really good point, actually. What is the perfect blog? There is no such thing as a perfect blog. There is no such thing as perfection either. So I understand that, and hopefully that's a bold statement. But what I would say is you have to think about your objective with the blog, Jill. You have to think about, okay, why am I writing this blog article? You know, what are the, so add the so what theory to this, like I talk about with social media. So what am I trying to achieve with this? Okay, so I'm trying to show my expertise. I'm trying to give people value, you know, give people more content, more information. I'm going to give them more so they can learn more about me. And that's really, really important. Is there a template? Okay, a template, like I just said a few minutes ago about having a structure to your blog. When writing blog content, it's important to make sure that it's not just heading and then 400 words of text. Break it down into sections. It also makes it easier to read. Chris has asked a really good question. What's better, blogs or vlogs? For those of you that don't know, a vlog is a video blog, and that's often when people will create a video blog using their phone or using a camera, and what they'll do is actually just kind of record a video that is effectively replacing that blog. What is better, blogs or vlogs? I'm going to say to you, Chris, do both. Okay, do both and let your audience tell you as well. If for example, this is effectively like a vlog as well, really, with this live, because I'm giving you a lot of this information, and that's what a blog article does as well. So give it a try, Chris. You know, sit down and look at what you can do with a article. So you've got a title, for example, break down the subjects, and then just talk about it. Okay, people buy from people. And you know, I'm really pleased that you guys have joined me today, because it's lovely that you're taking the time out of your bank holiday Friday to come and actually, you know, engage with me as well. What I would say is, I've just seen there Chris has just popped a link in there for Copyblogger. I've never seen Copyblogger in the past, but interesting, guys, go and have a look as well. So with blog content then, so it's about consistency, it's about having it on a regular basis. Where do you start? You start simply with a blank piece of paper. I think one there. Literally get a blank piece of paper and just get started writing it down. Write down your headlines and then start to write. You have to be looking at finding the right kind of writing style as well. So as you know, content writers, they can adapt to different styles, different businesses, different industries, different sectors, different audiences that are going to be reading it. I wrote a large number of articles for a very, very well-known online dating company. So if anybody's interested in knowing about local dating in Birmingham or anywhere like that, then I've written lots of content for that company, and that was really, really good, because that was based on a plan. They said to me, okay, we want you to write these articles, these are the keywords we need to be referencing, we need to be talking about XYZ, and I followed that brief to the point. So create your own brief. Say to yourself, okay, this blog article, aiming it for about 400 words, need it to have 3 or 4 different sections, and I need it to cover the following points. And then when you look at keywords, you then start to think about what keywords are people using when they're searching. That is going a bit deeper when you start looking at the keyword density levels and looking at what the benefits are to Google. I think what I would say to start with is, yes, it's important to do that, but I think you can very easily get bogged down by just, excuse me, get bogged down by looking at it too deeply. Okay, keep it really, really simple. You know, get an article of content in there talking about the 5 things that people can do to do X, Y, Z. So, for example, with a lot of the blogs that I write, I look at features and benefits. I'll say, for example, the five top tips for generating engagement on your social media. What I'll do is I'll look at those top tips. Each one of those will be a feature and the benefits of doing X, Y, Z, and that's where you're going to get the most out of your blog content. So for an ADI, for example, I've given you a top blog article to start with, 3 top tips to being relaxed on your first driving lesson. Get that posted onto your website, create a blog section, get it uploaded, share that link on social media, create a boost, spend £10 boosting it to a demographic that is kind of the right demographic for you. Get that posted out, look at the number of people that are clicking on the links. If you've had 10, 20, 30 visits to your website, those 10, 20, 30 people may not have ever heard of you before. They may not know who you are or what you do, and now they do because they've come through that. Now that blog has cost you £10, or you've invested £10, I should say, but the monetary value of that is £10, and then it's your time writing the article, which might be an hour, it might be 3 hours, whatever it may be. If it's 3 hours, then get the next blog and just try to see if you can shorten that time period down, because you need to be thinking of this as a good use of your time. And for an ADI, for example, if you have your diary full of pupils, for the coming weeks, fingers crossed everything goes the way it should do, and you're back out on the road again. If your diary is full of pupil bookings, then you need to think about the time that you're going to be spending on the marketing of your business. Are you going to spend that time in the evening? Are you going to be too tired to do so? Is it a weekend job? Is it a Friday morning job? Is it a Monday morning job? Do you actually kind of break that time down to say, right, okay, the next hour I'm going to focus on blog writing for my business? And what that blog does, that blog sits on your website, okay, and somebody may come along and see a different article on your website. They may see a different post on your Facebook or Instagram, go straight into your website, and they come across another blog that you wrote a few weeks ago or even a few months ago, and that blog can still be of value to somebody as well. So it's really, really interesting that it's really important that you need to have that plan in place. Start writing down the next 4 weeks and say, I'm going to write 300 words, or 250 or 300 words, and then gradually start to find your style and start to build it up. I like to keep between 400 and 500 words because that's really kind of a good attention span. If you're thinking about writing 1,000 words, ask yourself a question. When was the last time you sat down and read 1,000 words? I can't remember the last time I did that. So I think it's really, really key to keep the limit to around about 400 or 500 words. Google likes to see interesting content that's relevant to your business. It will also pick up on keywords, but it also looks at the relevancy as well. So you can't go and spam a blog article at all. Really important that you don't kind of do anything that's underhand by spamming it with keywords just because you think that's going to help. It could end up hurting you as well. Chris, fantastic question. Give me 2 seconds. I can feel my voice going a little bit there. Should it be written in the first or third person? Well, think about your business. Think about the personality behind your business. Think about what are you trying to do? Who are you trying to promote? If you have a blog article that's written in the first person, then again, that's a really good opportunity to make it interesting, friendly, unique. People can buy into you. They can buy into your style as well. That's what I like to do. I like to keep it very much first person. You can write third person content, but think about your business and what is it that people buy? What is it that makes people buy into your business and buy a product or service? Is it you? Do people buy from people? Are you guys feeling more trusted? Because you see my face and you see me doing these live events and the presentations I do. Is this a way of buying into me, so you get to know me first before you start looking at the products or services that I offer? Chris, for you, for example, I think it comes down to personality. I think you can put your personality into a blog. Don't forget that if you're sharing that blog onto your social media, share it also out onto your personal Facebook feed as well. Promote that blog by sharing it through your personal network of connections, and don't be afraid to ask people to share it as well on their social media, because we know, if you guys have been all the way to my previous lunchtime live events, you'll know that it's all about asking the question. So, guys, if you have really enjoyed today and you feel that you've got something from this, then absolutely fantastic. That's exactly why I do this. So, please feel free to go and leave me a review on Facebook, or head over to Google and just type in Simon Clark SDC Digital, and then you can find my Google page and drop me a Google review as well. So, just a quick recap on the title of today. We're going to finish up in a few minutes, guys. How can regular blogs help your social media strategy? About being consistent, about being unique, showing your expertise, encouraging traffic to your website, increasing engagements on your social media posts. All of those things are really important. Now, don't forget, head over to my website, click on the subscribe link, come and join me for my emails. I send regular emails as well. And also, got a YouTube channel. All of my lunchtime live events will go straight onto my YouTube channel as well. And that's a really good place for you to go if you are interested whilst you're washing up or doing something in the garden. You're welcome to go and pop one of my lunchtime lives on and have a listen. Next week, I'm going to be talking about the 5 ways to make your social media stand out. And join me, come and join me, guys, and tell me what you think. But thank you very much for today. Thank you to everybody that's joined and stuck around and everything. Please feel free to share this with all your friends and family and people that you think would be of interest. And if you do like it, guys, feel free to go over to my Facebook page and just drop me a review and tell me exactly what you think. That'll be much appreciated. So I hope everybody enjoys the rest of this bank holiday weekend. I don't know what everyone's got planned, but I hope whatever you're doing is safe. I hope you're well, and I hope you have as much fun as you possibly can. So thanks, guys, again for joining me for my lunchtime live. Take care.